Okay.
Says, activists, accidents at the 3 Mile Island and C nuclear plants have shown the dangers of nuclear power. It was earlier argued that nuclear power was necessary or was needed because fossil fuels will eventually run out. Recently, however, a technology has been developed for deriving from sewage sludge and oil that can be used to generate power. Okay, so recently a technology has been developed for deriving from sewage sludge and oil that can, okay? This new technology, therefore, together with the possibility of using alternative sources of energy like solar, wind, and hydroelectric power, raises the hope that we can dispense altogether with nuclear power and that we can meet our energy needs in a way that best protects the environment from the harm that we do at present. All right. So, what is our conclusion?
Okay. So I think the conclusion is when it says this new technology, together with the possibilities of all these other alternative sources,
Yes.
raises the hope that we can dispense altogether nuclear power and that we can meet our energy needs.
All right. So, this is, yep. So, recently, however, oh, nope. Dun-dun-dun. Okay. So, this new technology together.
The longest conclusion of all time.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, all the way down here. Excellent. So, how I typically approach evaluate questions, like if it was a normal evaluate question, is you read through the answer choices and you ask yourself, like, if I knew this, would it strengthen or weaken our conclusion? Because you can evaluate an argument by saying, like, hey, this is better or this is worse, which we're going to kind of do here, but we can do it on a different evaluate question that's not a least. Because, like, essentially what we're trying to do is, so it says, which of the following considerations is least relevant in evaluating it? So, which one of these, if we knew the answer, would not strengthen or weaken this argument?
Yeah.
But and since it's a least, we're just going to ask ourselves, like, does this, if we knew this, would
Yeah.
it strengthen or weaken it? And so A says whether the current methods of disposing of sewage sludge by dumping do environmental damage. So what if the current methods of disposing of sewage sludge by dumping does do environmental damage? Would that strengthen or weaken our conclusion?
Wouldn't it wait, however, recent technology is developed from deriving sewage sludge oil be used to generate power, and we're considering whether the current method of disposing the sludge does any environmental damage.
Yeah, what if
Wouldn't wouldn't that be a question we ask though if we're looking for dispensing nuclear power, like if we're coming up with this technology with other alternative sources? I just don't know if that weakens or strengthens it. I know like in a question form, like presenting this new technology, like what its purpose is for, like A would be a question I would ask when considering like to use it or not.
yeah, and we're trying to say that better protects the environment from the harm than we do at present. So if we knew that this sludge by dumping did environmental damage, I would say that this strengthens our conclusion.
Yeah.
But what if the answer was no, that the current methods don't harm the environment?
Um, then we wouldn't use that technology.
Well, if the current methods did not do environmental damage, wouldn't that weaken our argument? Because we'd be like, we don't even need this new technology.
Yeah.
So do you see how that works? How it could be like a strengthener or a weakener?
Oh, that's so weird. Okay.
So that would help in evaluating it. So we're gonna cross.
Yeah. We're
All
gonna
right. So you were
yes.
between B, C, and D. All right. So let's go to D. Whether the burning of oil from sewage sludge would, in contrast to nuclear power production, produce gases that would have a harmful warming effect on the climate worldwide.
So if we're looking at it as like a weekend,
Mm-hmm.
if this burning produces gas that are harmful, then we wouldn't want to use this new technology.
Yep. And so that would help us evaluate it, right? Because
Yeah.
so it can't be D.
Okay.
All right. What about C?
Whether the cost of producing and using oil from sewage sludge would be economically sustainable. Yeah. economics is important because if it's going to cost too much money, then is it like feasible enough to really use this technology
Yeah,
as an alternative?
like if the cost is economical, sustainable, then it's like, yeah, this is great. It's not
Yeah.
the work, but it's financially stable. And then if no, it at least weakens it a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
B.
And then B is whether the processes that are used to turn sewage into clean water and sewage sludge have been improved in recent decades. So
What if the processes have been improved in recent decades?
the processes that are used to turn sewage into clean water.
Mm-hmm. What if it
And
had been improved in recent decades? We're like, yep, it's gotten better.
then would they need the technology?
We don't know, right? Because we don't know how much
Yeah.
it's improved.
I'm
If
like,
it's gotten
oh,
better,
okay, if it's
that's
new technology, but
yeah, just because this old way has gotten better, does that mean that this new technology won't do a better job?
we don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, or what about no? What if the processes haven't gotten better in recent years? Does that make it relevant of this new technology being better or not?
Mm-mm.
Nope, it has nothing to do with it. And so that's why this isn't helpful, and that's why it's our answer.
Got it. So like with these type of questions, is it that I know we should always go through the answer choices, but like in this scenario, doing like the yes, no question with all of them, like that's gonna be able to help us. And like the question that's not answered as a yes or a no for the answer choice, like that would be like something that we would consider least relevant.
Well, if the answer to it doesn't help us,
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.